Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in today's video, we will see how to create a responsive web page with the help of HTML and CSS. Okay. So before we get started, if you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel to receive the latest updates, latest videos on coding related to HTML, CSS, Java, Python, R programming, and many more, starting from basic to advanced level. And stay tuned till the end of the video so that you can see the output, how a responsive web page looks like. And it's just a basic web page wherein you will be able to see the title of the web page, and maybe like if a website has like this website is the rights are reserved, so that particular section can also come, and the body part of that particular web page, and if it has a navigation bar, how to put the navigation bar in your web page. Okay, all those things we will see in this video. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, to start with the HTML, you have to write with the doc type. So let's do that first. So doc type HTML and then close, and then we have to open up the HTML tag, and then inside that the head. Okay, now next comes up the meta tag. Okay, now why I am using a meta tag over here, because we are making a responsive web page, right? So for that you have to use the meta tag, okay, so that you can whether it's a Chrome browser or Microsoft Edge or any other browser, you're telling that yes, you're creating a responsive web page with the help of which you are able to showcase the features which you are adding into the web page. Okay, so viewport. Okay, viewport means it's a responsive web page and you're trying to view it, and the content which you are trying to enter inside it should be like the width and size should be adjustable according to the device which you're using, whether you're using a laptop or a desktop or a Mac or an Android or any other, or Apple, any other mobile phones or any devices. It should be adjustable according to that. So for that, inside the content in the meta tag itself, you need to mention the device, like you need to mention width, okay, and then device. Okay, that means it will adjust according to the device, with whichever device you're using. Okay, and then the scaling part which we have to do, that's the initial scale. So initial scale, I'll suggest always put as 1, so that it gets adjusted according to the ratio and the scale of that particular website or a browser which you're actually using to display your web page. Okay, so this particular part is used for making a page responsive, okay, in your website. Right, now next let's come on to the styling part. Now you have to do the style, right? So we will be using a style part, and then inside that you have to mention your the whole CSS, right? So how to do the CSS? So you have to enter it inside the body. So let's first assume the body part. Okay, so body part, as in my previous videos you have seen, like you have to mention the font family, the margin, the padding, and everything you have to do inside the body. So I'll just mention the font family, which I always take, that is Arial, okay, and sans serif as the font family. Okay, next I'll be taking the margin. So I prefer keeping it at 0 because it's just the body section, and it depends on like which part you are working on. According to that you can change the margin, the padding, and everything. Okay, now next coming on to the header part, like how will you move on to the header? Okay, header means wherein you will be placing the the website title or your website logo or anything you want, you need to put it inside the header part, right? So for that, I'll take a background color and I'll take the color as black. So for black, and so I'll be basically working over here on black and white. So hashtag 333, that's for black, and accordingly for white I'll be also giving so color triple F. Okay, so as I said, for black and white, and I want the text, whatever is there in my responsive web page, should be in center. So text alignment, I'll keep it as center. Okay, and here comes the padding. So padding I'll keep as 20 pixels. So that's the standard one. Okay, so according to your requirements, you can change it. Okay, now after this, I'll move on to the navigation panel. Okay, because I want a navigation panel in my web page, in my responsive web page. Okay, so I'll create a navigation panel. So first of all, for the navigation panel, it would look something like this. Okay, like if you have a website name, so your navigation panel will look something like this, and you will have let's say home, and then about, and your services which you're providing, these section inside this particular panel. Okay, so this is how a navigation panel will look like in your responsive web page. Okay, so for that, I just took NAV, that's for navigation, and I'll try to give some, maybe a background color to it. So I'll keep the color as again. And I'll also keep the text alignment because I want it in the center, like the home and about and services section, or whatever section you want it in your the web page which you're making. According to that, you can choose. And then I'll move on to my navigation list, like what I'll be using. Suppose I'll give the name as navigation, short form as NAV, and then okay, and inside that I'll just mention like what is the type of my list. So I'll just choose list style type. Okay, and I don't want any padding for this, so I'll just keep it as simple. Okay, now next, now these part are done, like my header is done. I want the header. So this is all about styling. Okay, how your body will be there, like what is the color of the body, what's the alignment of your text which you are using in the body section, what is the header color. Okay, so everything you have to do it inside CSS. Okay, that's why styling is used. That is why it's known as cascading style sheet. Okay, now next I'll be mentioning the navigation list, like what should be the list inside my panel. Okay, so for that I'll just mention the styling first. So display, I'll mention it as inline, and then margin also I'll put something. So let me take the margin as 10 px. Okay, and then moving on to the next part. Sure, for the text I'll take some decoration, so I'll keep as 1, and then the color again I want it as a black color, so I'll just keep it as triple F. Okay, now the navigation part is done. I move on to the main part as in, like if this is your whole web page, a responsive web page, okay, which we are making, you have a panel right over here at the top, okay, in which you have your navigation panel, you have home, you have other sections, and then your body part, which will consist of like what actually this website is about, and then at the bottom you will have a section which will say that this is my website and all the rights are reserved, right? So this is what you're trying to create in your responsive web page. So now that we are done with the header, putting your website name and then moving on with If you want to put any kind of logo, you can also put it over there inside the header itself, because right now you are just styling it. You're not putting anything inside it, like the name of your header or the name of your website or any text. So first part is styling it. So now we are moving on to the main part, wherein I want the padding section to be something like 20 px, and next after this I want the footer also. Why footer? Because I want to display that this is my website and all rights are reserved, right? So for that I'll just take the background color, and it should be like this. And I'll also take a color and I'll keep it as okay. So now these part are done. So now the next part. So before that, let me also mention inside the footer that I want the footer to be displayed in the center. So text alignment would be center, and padding would be somewhere, let's say 10 px. Okay. Now next what we have to do, since we have the footer, so inside the footer we have to mention like what we have to display, like copyrights are reserved, something like this. So for that what we have to do, you have to use the @media. Okay, now @media, what it does, it will help you to display an @ function over there, which says that all the copyrights are reserved for this particular website. Okay, so here I'll just give it a bit like, let's say the standard width is 768 px, so I'll just keep it that. Okay, and then inside it you can mention like FUL and if I write, and then inside that I can just display like, it should be in a form of, let's say, block in which my right reserves are written. So I'll just write it as block. Okay. And the nav list which I have, that I also have to mention. So display, and then it should be in a form of a block. So I'll just write block, and I'll put the margin as 10 px. Okay, fine. Now these part are done. So what I'll be doing, I'll be closing my style, and then I'll go ahead and close the head. Okay, and next we'll be closing the okay. So now if you see carefully over here, this is the body section. Okay, so you have to also enter the body part over here, in which you will be having the header and everything. So let's move on to that. So I'll put the header. Okay, so inside the header now comes whatever text you want to display in your web responsive page. Okay, so let's say I mention welcome to my website. Okay, so I've taken it as in H1, right? And now I'll be just closing the header. Okay, now next comes up to my navigation panel. So now if you see carefully over here, all the styling part are done. These are all styling part are done. Now I'm just putting the textual part which should be there inside the website, right? So now the navigation part comes. So I'll just use a nav tag for that. Okay, and inside that what I'll be using a div class, so that it gives me an active navigation tag. Okay, so you have to just mention active class, and it should be active. That means I want my navigation panel to be active. Okay. So now that we are done with this, like mentioning the div class, and inside that you have to mention the active. Now what you have to do is you have to mention your lists. Okay, whatever list you want to put it inside your navigation panel. Okay, so I'll mention it as UL. So in my previous videos you have seen, if you have not, I'll be putting, you can see the video at the right hand side top. In the There would be an icon which would display like how to use the list, ordered list and unordered list. Okay, you can check it out there. So unordered list, I'm just putting it over there. That's why I have used UL, and inside that I'll be mentioning my list. So I'll just write li tag, and inside that I'll just mention the a tag, and inside href I'm not putting out any links. If you have any link you can, or if you don't have, you can put it as blank. And then like I want first tab as home, so I'll put that, and then I'll close the a tag, and after that I'll close the list tag as well. Okay, next line I again want in another section. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this part, and over here let's say I mention as about. Okay, and let's say services. So it's up to you, whatever you want to put. And let me take another part as product. Okay, and now what I'll be doing is I'll just close the UL, that's unordered list. Okay, and then the next part what you have to do is you have to also close the div part. Okay, so we have to remove this from here, and I'll just mention it right over here because everything should go inside your div. So div is now closed. Okay, now what you have to do is close the navigation part and then come on to the main section. Okay, like we have already included the main styling. If you see right over here, the main styling has been done. So now I'll enter inside my main section and I'll just put some tags. That is, I'll take an h2 tag, and inside that I'll mention, let's say, about us. Okay, and I'll close the h2, and then inside a p tag, that means inside my web page what I want to display. So let's say I write welcome Okay, this is what I want to display, so I'll just write this. Okay, and then the p tag will be closed off. Okay, and next what I'll do, I'll just close off my main. Okay, so once I close my main, in the footer section I want to work. So what should be there in the footer section? So I'll mention that. So in the footer I'll just write and copy so that it will display like the @ sign. For that you have to write and copy. Okay, and then give a semicolon and then write, suppose 2023 my website and other stuffs, or you can also write all rights reserved. Okay, this is what I write, and then the footer is closed. And after the footer is closed, what you have to do, you have to close on the body. Okay, and once the body is closed, you have to close on the HTML. Now this is the whole program, how it will look like it has the the meta tag which will tell that this is a responsive web page, and then you have to first of all style it. Okay, your whole styling of the web page should come over here, and according to the styling you have to enter your body part. Okay, like whatever text you want inside your web page. Okay, so now this is done. What we have to do next is you can just save this. Okay, since I'm using it in a Sublime text, you can save it, and you can save it in the form of just the name of the file and with an extension .html. Okay, and wherever you save, like suppose you save it in your desktop or you save it under documents or downloads, anyway, you can just open the file from there. Okay, so let's see how the website looks like. So if you see the website, it will look something like this. Okay, so here like welcome to my website, what I gave under the header, that is right over here. Okay, this particular part. So this particular panel, this one is our navigation panel, which has the home section, it has about section, the services and the contact. Now if you see the difference, the styling part, so this black color which we have used, and then for the header we have used a white color. The padding, if you can see like how the width is being managed. Okay, so this is how it will be there in your front end. Okay, and this is the navigation panel, and this particular field belongs to the body part, wherein you will be mentioning, or where we have mentioned it in our in our code, like yes, this is my website and we provide services and all those things. Okay, and then the last part, that this is @23 my website, all rights are reserved. Okay, so this is how the whole website will look like. Fine. So now next what we have to do is, so once your website is ready, everything is ready, it's a fully responsive page. Okay, so this is a fully responsive page. So accordingly you can put the links right over here, like your home section or about section. If you have any services to provide, you can mention it over here in the links. Okay, mentioning the links. So how to mention those links? So you can mention those links right over here directly inside the href. Okay, if you have any links directing to those links, you can mention it over here. So once you click on let's say home, so it will take you to that particular page. Okay, so that's it for today's video, guys. So I hope this video was helpful to you as a beginner, how to create a responsive web page. If it is, please go ahead and hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to receive the latest updates regarding any coding tutorial. Okay, so let's meet up on our next video with another feature for HTML, CSS related, or if you want any specific related to Python, or any queries if you have, please comment down in the comment section right now, and I'll be back with those videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.